Welcome to Bytesector. Today we're going to be talking watches. Now, timepieces are some of the most prized pieces of history. The Swiss make some of the most valuable timepieces the world has ever known. Crystal quartz mechanisms, gold, self-winding, all very traditional. Then, smartwatches descended upon this very traditional space and shattered the mold. Now, Samsung is no stranger to the smartwatch, and the smartwatch is no stranger to Samsung. 5 years after Samsung launched the original Galaxy Gear, we find ourselves right here. In 2014, Samsung launched their very first smartwatch, the Galaxy Gear. It was then followed up by the Gear 2, the Gear Live, the Gear S, the Gear S2, the Gear S3, the Gear Sport, the Gear Watch, or the Galaxy Watch, sorry. And now, a refined sport version joins the line. In 2019, Samsung launched the Galaxy Watch Active, and it joins a long lineup of tradition and refinement. And we've got one right here to play with. Now, I've had this watch for about 3.5 weeks now. I've been wearing it daily, and I've gotten to know it really well. It's not my first smartwatch. I've worn a Moto 360 for a very, very long time, ever since it launched. I'm very familiar with the Android ecosystem around smartwatches, and so I bring a seasoned perspective to the Galaxy Watch Active. There's a lot to like about this watch. It's relatively small, it's comfortable to wear. You know what? Even the rose gold and pink bands aren't a put off for a guy. Although this color scheme, I have to admit, looks a little better on a female wrist than a male wrist. So what do you get in this smartwatch? Well, you get a 1.1 inch 360 by 360 pixel AMOLED display. You get a 1.15 gigahertz Samsung CPU, a 230 milliamp hour battery, 768 megabytes of memory, which is a nice upgrade over the long-standing 512 megabytes of RAM you'd find in most smartwatches on the Android platform. You get 4 gigabytes of on-watch storage. I was going to say on-device, but on-watch storage. And you get your heart rate sensor, your accelerometer, all of those neat sensors that are pretty standard. Specs are pretty good. They're a bit above an average, which is great. Samsung claims you're going to get 2 days of battery usage out of this. I can say you get 2 days of battery usage. I'm not a daily runner. I don't exercise on a regular basis, so I'm sure you're going to get, less battery life if you use it for sports tracking, fitness tracking, GPS and all of that neat stuff. But as a watch user who wants to know his heart rate, his stress levels, see his notifications from his phone, I get 2 days of solid usage out of this watch before I have to drop it on a charger for a couple hours. A very simple charging procedure. I do it in the middle of the day while I'm at work, while I'm sitting at my desk. The watch has 2 buttons on the side. The bottom button is the home button, and the top button is to just go back from the previous screen, or back to the previous screen rather. Tap on the display gives you the time. Again, the interface is extremely fluid. A tap on home brings up the apps. You can see how quickly that moves. Go back to home. If you swipe from right to left, it gives you your heart rate. I know it says 51, that was when it was on my wrist. It tells you your average. If you want more information, just tap, and it'll actually bring you to a history screen where you get a graph, your average, your maximum, your minimum, this week, and the ranges. So we can hit back. Swipe once more, and you get a stress meter. And you can actually tap on breathe to have it go through some breathing exercise with you so that you can reduce your stress level at that moment. Absolutely, this watch is looking out for your health. And again, If you want more information, you tap on it. It shows you your average, your current, and you can scroll through and look at your history. Swiping once more, you get a list of your activities, how much time you've spent exercising, how many calories you've burned, and how long you've been exercising. And then on the last screen here, you can actually select if you're doing an activity such as running, cycling, swimming, or you can add one of a whole bunch of different activities, from like arm extensions to planks to pull-ups, leg raises, weight machines. You name it, it's in this list. About the only thing I didn't find in this list that I actually did play is table tennis. But I can understand why that would be something difficult to track on a wrist-based fitness tracker. So we'll hit back. Moving on, you get your weather synced from your phone, or if you connect the watch to Wi-Fi, synced from Wi-Fi, and then your calendar appointments. And from there, you can add your own custom widgets or rearrange the existing ones. So we go home. If you swipe from left to right, you get your phone notifications. So I don't have too much in here. You can clear them all. And that's pretty much it. The interface is pretty straightforward and simple. You have a lot of control. You can pull up your weather. You can look at the settings. There is Samsung Pay on this device. No Google Pay, but Samsung Pay. You have Bixby on the device, which is kind of neat. It's like the Google Assistant, like Siri. It works very similar, and it's really well done. If you look on the top of the watch here, right here, there are two holes. Those are the microphones. On the back, you have one central LED for the heart rate sensor, and 4 receiving sensors to get that information back. Other things of note, Samsung has made it very easy to remove watch bands. Again, a little tab here, you just pull it in towards the other side and out pops the watch band. To insert, you just do it exactly reverse. Boom. Very straightforward and simple. Makes it easy to swap out this shorter watch band for the long watch band that comes with the watch in the box. Now let's talk the charger. Included in the box is a magnetic induction charger, USB cable on the end. It's very simple. You just drop the watch on. As I said, magnetic. It sticks. You plug the USB cable into either a wall wart charger or your computer or your laptop or even a power bank, and away it goes. Starts charging instantly. My beef with Samsung here is the going trend. This isn't exclusive to Samsung, so sorry I'm singling them out here, but it's great that you've given me a USB cable, but you didn't give me a wall wart. So now I have to either repurpose an existing wall wart, big one out of the closet, or unplug a USB cable from a wall wart I actively use so that I can plug this one into it to charge from the wall if I want to charge at night, or you know, if I don't want to use my laptop because I'm running my laptop on battery or something silly like that. I'd like to see that in the box. That's my one gripe with what's in the box, is there's no wall wart to charge the watch. I love that it comes with the longer watch band. So I'm just pulling that out here, but there's a longer watch band. I needed it for my wrist. It didn't fit onto my wrist with the short one. It did, however, fit onto my wife's wrist with the short wristband. So again, it can be worn by male or female, but Samsung's made sure that you don't have to spend extra money to choose. I wore this watch. I've got sizable wrists, but in my opinion, it looks a bit comically small on my wrist, given that the trend these days is to larger watch faces, and that's just fashion right now, is large watch faces, large watches. So this one is a bit small. It comes with a 20 millimeter band, 40 millimeters is the display size, which is a bit smaller than the 42 that we typically see for female watches and the 46 that we see for male watches. A bit small, but it's unobtrusive. If you don't like a big watch on your wrist, this is perfect. You get a few choices on color. You can choose from black, silver, rose gold, or green. It's called green. It's a bit teal in my opinion, but whatever. If you're a guy, you're probably gonna go black, silver, or green. If you're a woman, take your pick. So let's talk setup for a few minutes here. If you have a Samsung cell phone, so a Galaxy S, anything really, you're gonna have a very seamless setup. If you're running an Android cell phone, this is where the Bixby-based Galaxy Watch Active annoyed me a bit. So we're gonna talk real for a second. I installed the Samsung wearable app on my Pixel 2 XL. I opened it, I told it I wanted to pair my watch with it. It walked me through the steps of pairing. Then it started to ask questions. Do you want your notifications to show on your watch? Yes, I do. Okay, well, you need to grant us permission to your notifications. Sure, that's reasonable. I can live with that. That's totally normal. I expect nothing less from any smartwatch app. Okay, do you want to track your health data? Yes, I do. Okay, well, you need to go here and download the Samsung Health app. Okay. I downloaded the app, opened it up. I needed to log in, or more accurately, I needed to now sign up for an account with Samsung Health. So another account that I need to keep track of in my long list of accounts. I couldn't use Google Fit. I had to use the Samsung proprietary app. And then this is where it started to get a little out of hand in my opinion. I had to enable or download a plugin for the Watch Active, specifically the Watch Active. I had to download the Samsung Accessory Service plugin. These are things I shouldn't need to think about. I shouldn't need to install 4 different apps to use a smartwatch, being fair too, since Android Wear requires you to install Android Wear app, and if you want to do fitness tracking, Google Fit. Again, if you've got a Samsung smartphone, you're not going to deal with this headache. I'm sure you've already bought into the Samsung ecosystem. You already have your Samsung Health account and all of that stuff. And a lot of that's baked into the OS. So that's my gripe. Aside from installing apps, the setup process is extremely straightforward. As long as you can install apps, you just follow the prompts and everything else takes care of itself. So, the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active. It's a cute little watch. Does a whole lot. Keeps me healthy. Makes sure that I don't, waste away in front of my computer during work days. Tells me what my heart rate is. Tells me what my stress levels are. Syncs to my phone. Buzzes to get my attention when the battery's low, when I need to get up and move. It's looking out for me. On the other hand, I had to install a lot of apps I didn't want to install. I had to open an account that I didn't think I needed to have to open. If I wanted to use Samsung Pay, that's another account and another synchronization to my credit card account. I didn't find it as integrated as I wanted with an Android smartphone. That said, I'm sure that using a Samsung smartphone would have cleared up a lot of those issues, as I would have already bought into the Samsung ecosystem. I would already be using Samsung Pay, Samsung Health, etc. instead of all of the Google equivalents. I like how the watch looks. Despite it being pink, I still wore this watch out in public because, you know what, it looks good. It's not the biggest watch face on the market, but I could read my notifications. Typically, I only use my smartwatch to tell me what's come in on my cell phone without having to pull my cell phone out of my pocket. So it does that perfectly. No complaints. You want to see if an email came in, who it's from, what the first few lines are? Done. You want to see what somebody messaged you on Hangouts or through text message. You can do that too. No complaints. It does what a smartwatch does, and it does it very well. It packs beefy specs, great battery life for what a smartwatch is. Comes with Tizen OS 4. There was a quick update when I got the watch. A couple more in the 3.5 weeks that I've been using it, which means that Samsung is constantly improving the software on it. So I'm happy about that. I don't have too much bad to say about the watch. The hardware is solid, the software is solid. The integration with other smartphone platforms, non-Samsung platforms, that needs a bit of work. Whether that'll happen or not, I'm not going to pin my hopes on it. I think Samsung is committed to their ecosystem and their users are committed to that ecosystem. So clearly the target audience is primarily Samsung users. So kudos on Samsung for putting together a cute, functional watch that I can actually say is looking out for me more than any other smartwatch I've ever owned or used. That's it for this review. If you guys have questions, ask them in the comments below. If you guys have feedback, leave it in the comments below. Other than that, you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching today's video. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs down. Leave us a comment below letting us know what we can improve for next time. But if you did like it, give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell beside it so that you get notified the next time we post a video. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Have a great day, and we'll see you all next time.